Then yeah, when you come back, because I'm sure it'll still be there.
Pulling crap on people all the time, man.
Council, y'all ready? Upper 60 to 9.
Thumbs up here.
Y'all ready? You ready?
Good down on the job. You didn't tell.
Yeah, you didn't tell me.
Well, I did my duty earlier, minute and a half ago.
Okay,
Make that 2 minutes.
the time is 6:30 and 28 seconds. And I call this special meeting of the Red Oak City Council to order. Let it be known that we have all council members present with key city directors and our wonderful city secretary. Notice has been duly posted and our audio techs, they're great too. Notice has been posted in accordance to Texas Government Code Section 551 and our finance people, and our media people. And we are here to conduct business. We have several items to talk about today. And so we have a consent agenda. Consent agenda are considered routine in nature and can be acted upon in one motion, or any council member can have something withdrawn to be able to talk about separate and act upon.
Mayor,
Yep.
you need to do your citizens' comments first.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Boy,
Thank
know
you.
all about it.
Yep.
A voice from above. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a voice from above. That's
And of course, we got our legal online. So thank you. So, did we have anybody sign up for citizens?
Yes.
Okay. So we have no citizens here to comment on, and so I'll move on to consent agenda. Is there any item that needs to be pulled and acted upon separately? Hearing none, I will entertain the motion to approve the consent agenda as published.
So moved.
Councilman Lightfoot. Councilman Miller. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Good one, I.
Miller, I.
Smith, aye. And that's 5-0. Item 5. Item 5 is consider approval of ordinance number 24-035, the city of Red Oak, Texas, adopting the fiscal year 2024-2025 annual budget in accordance with state law, approving and adopting a budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024 and ending September 30, 2025, providing that expenditures for said fiscal year shall be made in accordance with said budget, appropriating and setting aside the necessary funds out of the general and other revenues for the said fiscal year for maintenance and operation of the various departments and for various activities and improvements of the city, providing for a repealing of all ordinances in conflict, providing a severability clause, providing an effective date.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Excuse me. Public hearing was held to allow for public comment for the fiscal year 2024-2025 proposed budget on August 12th, 2024. And then council did vote to consider adoption of the proposed budget at tonight's special called meeting. As you'll recall, we did hold 2 strategic planning and budget workshops along with a special meeting on July 31st, discussing those strategic items. And you do have in your packet tonight budget highlights from those meetings. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And staff recommends that council adopts the ordinance to adopt the 2024-2025 budget tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Council, are there any questions on this?
Come from me.
No question.
We discussed it.
Okay. That's the one thing that, we get those numbers as early as we can and we have those workshops. So, it's nothing new, that has been presented. I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 24-035.
So move.
Second.
I think Councilman Lightfoot has some discussion. I think. Oh, you were good? Okay.
This is a roll call vote as well, so.
Okay, so
No,
I'll start.
Oh, you was good? Okay.
All right, I'm sorry, who got the first? Okay, Goodwin
Good one. Second.
Favorite councilman.
and Miller. All right, roll call.
Franklin, I.
Good one, I.
Miller, I.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, I.
All right, that passes 5-0. Item 6, conduct a public hearing and consider approval of ordinance number 24-036, the city of Red Oak, Texas, levying ad valorem taxes for the fiscal year 2024 through 2025, tax year 2024, at a rate of 0.458991 for maintenance of and operations, and a rate of 0.237895 for debt service, for the total rate of 0.696886 per $100 of assessed valuation on all taxable properties within the corporate city limits of the city of Red Oak as of January 1, 2024, to provide revenues for the current expenses and debt service requirements, providing for due and delinquent dates together with penalties and interest, and declaring an effective date. Ms. Platt again.
Yes, so the proposed rate that council proposed of the 0.696886 is higher than the no new revenue rate, which, as we previously discussed, this is the rate that would raise the same amount of property tax revenue for the budget from both the 2023 tax year and the 2024 tax year for the budget that was just approved. And so when we do propose a rate that is higher than that no new revenue rate, we're effectively raising the tax rate, even though council has proposed a rate that is exactly the same as the rate that we have now. And so we are required to hold a public hearing for citizens to express their comments, their support or opposition to the proposed tax rate. And so we will have the public hearing now before asking council to move further.
So the time is 6:37, and we will open that public hearing. Is there anybody here that wishes to speak on this? Okay, nobody online either. Okay. Oh, look at that. It's 6:38, and I'll entertain the motion to close that public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Lightfoot and Smith.
Smith.
Yep, sorry. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Good one, I.
Miller, I.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, I.
That passes 5-0. So now, council, do you have any questions about setting this taxes the way we've discussed to approve the budget that we've approved, just got done approving? Speak now
What was that tax rate last year?
is same.
Same? Okay, good enough.
Same rate, but this same rate adds more revenue, which is why we have to do the public hearing and declare it as a tax increase when I read the motion.
How are we doing in comparison to surrounding areas? Is it a increase to residents and businesses, or how much of a difference?
So it's hard to compare apples to apples because of the way the taxes kind of come in for each of the cities around us. I know Ovilla did the same tax rate that they did last year, so it's the same. Do you know about Waxahachie?
Oh,
So a lot of cities have not yet adopted their tax rate. Because we do utilize the de minimis rate, we have to do this on a stepped up schedule. And so a lot of times we are doing this before other cities are. So we don't have that information as yet.
okay.
Mayor and council, I'll just add that I think that to further answer your question, we're starting to see the effects of SB2. And so, you know, a lot of the cities I'm reading every morning, we get an update from news clippings. A lot of cities are now actually raising their tax rate because of the effects of SB2 and just to fund basic operations that they were able to absorb in the past. So I think either maintaining the existing rate or raising the rate is becoming the norm.
Thank you.
We have a specific movement and Councilman Lightfoot, would you read that, please?
Pause for any other commentary. Doesn't look like there's anybody else. All right. I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of 0.696886 per $100 of assessed valuation, with the maintenance and operations rate of 0.458991 and a debt rate of 0.237895, which is effectively a 4.64% increase in the tax rate.
We'll entertain that motion.
Assemble.
Okay, so that's Councilman Miller.
Second.
And- I'm sorry.
I think I was.
Oh,
making
that was
the
your
motion.
first?
Yeah,
Okay.
Miller
Okay.
was our second.
So Miller's the second.
Yeah,
I
second.
apologize, sir. And you can do a third if you want. We won't leave you out.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about a good
Is
one.
that privilege?
Always doing it, put me at third place. here.
The senior statesman, we can go ahead and allow that third.
I like that.
You had to say something like that.
I don't know. Yeah, it's good. We're gonna put it on his grave, the senior statesman. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Good one, I.
Miller, I.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, I.
I was trying to give him accolades. Okay, that passes 5-0.
Anybody's leaving for the Caribbean. Need to cut the slack.
All right. Item 7, consider approval of ordinance number 24-037, the city of Red Oak, Texas, to ratify the property tax increase reflected in the fiscal year 2024-2025 adopted budget, which raises more revenue from property taxes than the fiscal year 2023-2024 adopted budget. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mayor and Councilman, this is another required adoption because of the tax rate effectively being raised. We are raising the levy and the revenue by $1,948,080 or 12.85%. The total revenue raised from new value that was added to the roll is $1,870,905. And so in order to do this, we do have to ratify this property tax increase that is included in the budget.
Council, any questions?
No questions.
Nope.
No question. So a lot of this is just legal procedures that we have to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay, good. Councilman Smith, you good? Okay. Councilman Lightfoot, would you?
I'll move that the council ratify the property tax increase reflected in the city of Red Oak's fiscal year 2024-2025 budget, which raises more total property taxes than last year's budget by $1,948,080 or a 12.85% increase.
Second.
Franklin?
Yep.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
None.
Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Good one, I.
Miller, I.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, I.
That passes 5-0. Item 8, consider approval of ordinance number 24-038, City of Red Oak, Texas, authorizing the issuance of said issuance and sale of City of Red Oak, Texas tax note series 2024, levying an annual ad valorem tax and providing for the security for and payment of said note and enacting other provisions relating to the subject.
Mayor and council, this ordinance is for consideration to authorize the issuance of the tax note series 2024 to fund the capital items that were included in the budget adopted earlier. You do have a packet in front of you as well, from Hilltop. Looks like this. It shows the bids that came in earlier today. As you'll recall, the estimated interest rate that Hilltop had provided, for estimate options was 4.5%. And our top bid came in at 3.65%. So we came in quite a bit better than expected. So we got some really good bids. We had 6 different bidders and 8 options altogether. And so we do recommend moving forward with the lowest bid with that lowest rate, and recommend the council to approve the ordinance to authorize the tax notes.
Any questions?
Nope.
I just had a question on how to interpret the prepayment option. What's non-callable in this context?
So we do not have the option to call the debt. The tax notes are 7-year notes, so they're a shorter term. Normally, we wouldn't try to prepay those because of fees involved as well. If we did want to rearrange some of our debt, we do have many options with other debt that we have
With
out
this
there.
debt, we couldn't pay earlier, basically.
We could pay it earlier by defeasance, but we couldn't
Okay.
call it.
Got it.
That's good rate.
But it's only 7 years. So
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions?
No question.
None.
Senior statesman, would you like to read that?
I move to adopt an ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of City of Red Oak, Texas tax note series 2024 and approving all other matters related thereto.
Councilman Miller seconded. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Given I.
Miller, aye.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, aye.
That passes 5-0. And item 9, consider adoption of resolution 24-078R, the city of Red Oak, Texas, directing publication and posting of notice of intention to issue certificate of obligation and resolving other matters relating to the said subject.
Mayor and council, this is the second part of the debt issuance that was discussed at the strategic planning and special council meeting to fund the budget. And this is the certificate of obligations issuance, and to issue the certificates of obligation, we are required to publish notice for 45 days before council does authorize those notes. And so those will be published according to this resolution, and they'll be published for 2 consecutive weeks in our paper of record.
I have a question.
Okay.
How much bonds are we issuing here? Dollar amount?
This is not to exceed 6.5 million.
6.65 million?
6.5 million is the
Okay.
not to exceed. We were estimating the par at around 6.2.
Thank you.
But they put that a little higher.
Any other questions? Good, all right. Councilman Smith, would you like to read the motion for item 9?
I move to adopt the resolution number 24-078R, directing publication and posting of notice of intention to issue certificates of obligation.
Second.
Councilman Lightfoot, second. Questions?
No questions.
No question.
Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Good one, I.
Miller, aye.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, aye.
And that passes 5-0.
Thank
Is there-
you.
Is there any other
Thank you.
items that we need to cover? Thank you very much. Thanks for your hard work. Council staff, thank you. We got a balanced budget. We're headed forward and we're moving on. Get on this train or don't get run over. All right, entertain the motion to adjourn
So
at
move.
6:49.
Second.
Good one.
You gotta be quick.
Franklin.
Good.
Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Good one, I.
Miller, aye.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, aye.
You don't need to be fast.
God, I love this city and I love